Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and we're in episode 4 of Avalanche, and today's episode is pretty important as we will finally start importing goods from our outside connections apart from roads. This sudden requirement for import is going to increase when we finally put down some commercial buildings in the city. We had no commercial buildings in the city right now, no shops or any other stores available. We had only residential buildings, but today we'll be finally including a few commercial buildings around the central station, as these commercial buildings will also act as a noise barrier between the residential zones and the train stations, as train stations are extremely noisy, as many of you would know, and some of you might even live next to a train station. So till now we had no other special requirement for goods, but now once these stores have been placed, all the goods which will be required by these stores will be imported, as we have no factory set up in the city as of now. Once we have the factory set up, the city will become self-sufficient, but as of now we have to import goods from outside. Like I said a few minutes ago, we will be importing goods from not only roads but also from other means of transport, and this will be only possible once we have a place where the goods can be unloaded, and we will be building a huge, when I say huge, I really mean it. It's going to be a very huge cargo station in the northwest side of the central point. And this cargo station will bring in all the goods via trains to the downtown only. For I will build other cargo stations in other areas, but for the downtown, this will be the sole provider of goods. As you can see, I've placed quite a few buildings, and not all of these are custom assets. Some of them are the vanilla buildings, but they look very good, honestly, so I don't mind using them as commercial zones. Some of these are assets, as you can see the Gap store in the screen right now, and the Armani store and others are custom assets. Even the buildings which I placed first in the beginning of the video are a set of Taiwanese commercial district buildings, which honestly have a very good look, and I feel like they deserve to be in the city, and I feel like this place deserves a little more detail, as it will be a little more frequently visited place in cinematics and other places as well. So I felt like these billboards would add a nice touch to the commercial area, as in real life you would see a lot of commercial billboards hanging on the sides of buildings if you go in such areas. As you know, in many places, especially in New York, you would see all these huge billboards on buildings, and they just look really nice, and they're just very good and not decorative purpose, but they add a lot of detail to your city if you put them in city skylines. And another smaller task I did in this episode was adding huge billboards or hoardings, or brand hoardings I should actually say, to buildings in the city, because the city still had no specific buildings like how I'm doing it right now. So it's literally the same process what I did in Codex City the last time, so there's nothing new in that, so that's why I didn't cover a lot. I've cut most of it, just one or two, just to show the process of it once again. Then I'm back to placing billboards around over here, as there are a lot of buildings which which require these billboards, because the entire central station is going to be surrounded with commercial buildings. So you can imagine the central station is very big, and the area around it is also extremely big, so I need a lot of buildings to cover this entire area, and I will be using these assets repeatedly but in different patterns, so it does not look same every time I place it. And I think it looks very unique. Every block in the commercial area looks unique, and I'm really happy the way it came out. By the way, I have posted Avalanche showcase video a few days back on my Instagram, so for the people who haven't seen it can go to the link in the description to my Instagram account and can view it right now. I've added the best features of Avalanche I've built till now. So by till now I mean not episode 4, by till now I mean episode 20, where I've already built the airport. So there's quite a few things which I've covered in it, and I think you will like it. It's a 3-minute showcase video, and I think you would like it. There's no voiceover, it's just cinematics playing to music, and I honestly feel like it was really good. That was the first time I used Adobe Premiere Pro. Right now I use Filmora Wondershare X, but I had never I had never used Adobe Premiere Pro before, but after I used it, I felt so good. I'm actually considering to switch to Adobe Premiere Pro, but not that Wondershare Filmora is bad, but it's just that Adobe has this really good professionalism in it, which is just unbeaten by any other editing softwares. And Filmora Wondershare is good for the people who are actually beginners and intermediates. But if you really want to look into advanced editing, I think Adobe Premiere Pro is your thing. Might I add that Adobe Premiere Pro is not very intuitive. You have to know how to use it before, like you have to take like a small course or a tutorial maybe from YouTube or wherever you want before you start editing, because when I opened Adobe Premiere Pro for the first time, I had no clue. I was just blank because it was very different. The interface was very different from what I have been using in Wondershare Filmora X, and it was really good. Although it was the editing experience was really good, but you need to have prior knowledge of the software to actually work with it. And this is one thing I felt like people should know about Adobe Premiere Pro, because I've seen many people use them. Some of my friends use it as well. Also, a huge shout out to Monstercat Music for providing the music for all the YouTube videos I have played. They have amazing music and it's pretty cheap. I think $5 a month for Gold Pass. Not bad actually, and you get some really good music, not only for YouTube, for your personal use as well. Honestly, I listen to a lot of songs which are not available everywhere but only on Monstercat, and I think they're really good. Before I talk more about the cargo station as we're building it on the screen right now, you can pay attention to it, but I'll just speak something more. As you can see, I have not built the downtown a lot right now. It's a very small portion, but you can see the amount of people it's holding. We've already crossed 50,000 people in our city, and it just continues to grow, especially once you have your train and metro set up. You have more people coming into the city, and I feel like it is an essential thing. You should also set up intercity buses, which came with the Sunset Harbor DLC. They're extremely helpful. Those intercity buses come packed with people, and they're just extremely good. So the first thing I wanted to talk about the cargo station is that it's an underground station, so the trains are going to be running underground. My cargo trains in the city will run underground only. The only place where it will come to ground is near the industrial area and near the bridge. When you see that Sweetwater River down there, that's the only place where it's going to come up to cross the river. That's it. The entire time the cargo trains are going to run underground. I know it's not something very realistic, but it's something very futuristic as well. And I've used this concrete wall over here just to hide the terrain glitch over there, and I think it looks fine. So the first thing was I set up the cargo station over here, moved it underground with Move It mod, and I think it works fantastic. Now I'm going to use the tunnel tool over here to make this train track underground as well, and pull it all the way to the other end of the map so that the trains can come and go from here. The only way I'm using to cover the terrain glitch, which is caused because of moving the underground and the cargo station underground, is by using these warehouses by Ronix. These are huge, these are amazing, and they cover a lot of area. And I'm using these dual nuclear power station buildings as well, which I have actually used in the power station, but not over here. So not all the buildings of the set are power station. Some of them are just for decoration purposes, which serve basically no other work other than decoration. And over here also I've done the same. They serve as a decoration because they have this little industrial look in them. So I feel like they would be very good when they are merged with the warehouse over there. And I had an idea to actually put a construction site in the city, because of which I actually subscribed to some construction site assets, and I actually placed one of the buildings over there just because I saw a good place to place it. And continuing this thing, I finally used Surface Painter again after a very long time, putting down the concrete, and detailing this area would be some cranes, containers, and a few forklifts, and a few open bunch of cargo, some cement bags and other barrels, to move on to the trains. And I think these are good details. I didn't go into specifics by placing every single one of them individually. I just used the brush tool in the prop line tool, and I just sprinkled all these things over it. And I used an elevator, a few forklifts around the entire place, so it looks a little realistic. And I've also used a bunch of fences. Yes, I've used fences finally, otherwise I never used to touch fences unless it was a park or a university. But in this build I've actually used fences a lot to make boundaries for different places. So the first fence you see me use will be around this warehouse, as I will cover the warehouse perimeter. And because not all cars are allowed to enter the place, it's only the trucks and the people who work over there are allowed to move in. So that's what is gonna happen over here. So to add a little more detail, I actually added a few the ploppable asphalt over here, which give them this fully black merged look. And I will add a few markings over here as well and add a few containers in the front to make it look like trucks are being loaded in these warehouses and they're ready to move as the front of the trucks will come. As you can see, I've already placed a few of them over there, and now I have cut away from there and I continued building the commercial area. So I believe that once I was done with a bit of commercial area, suddenly they started popping up that there are no goods available in the city. So I had to make the entire cargo station first, and now I'm coming back to this. As you can see, the central station is booming. There are a lot of passengers coming. The metros are extremely busy. I have around 2 to 3 metro trains on every line. So I've added more city services over there, like fire, police, water, sewage, garbage. All of it is being collected over there, and it's just perfect. Now I will come back here to the detailing, and I will put the fence around the entire facility, as there will be no other way to cover this place. So as you can see, Move It mod was very helpful over here. I just made random nodes over here and I connected them later on. By Move It mod, I moved them really close to that off ramp coming down. So I guess we're coming to the end of this episode. If you guys really enjoyed today's episode, hit that subscribe button to see more. And if you guys really like my content, you can hit that like button too, because you don't have to pay for it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.